Bobby, what would you say has been a highlight of this conference for you?
Well, if I had to say one word, it would be inspiration. I experienced lots and lots of new things, and I got a lot of motivation. I participated in many sessions, and all of them gave me something new, some new information. I met a lot of old and new friends, which was really good for my heart. I was told today that I became a stream heroine, so I'm very proud. And actually, I missed a few conferences before in the last couple of years. And this year I decided to give a treat for myself, and I got it. So it was a real treat. Thank you.
Aniko, what would you say has been a highlight of this conference for you?
Well, as for me, the whole atmosphere of the conference, which I take with me, all the friends and the hugs and talks with these friends, and the talks of the professionals, which I've heard, which is also very inspirational and motivating. The main message, I think, was for me that making failures is not a bad thing. Not only in life, of course, because it is a saying which we know, but also in the classroom, which we also use, of course, because all our students can learn from the mistakes. But when presenter tells that, this is something which makes you feel that you are in a good circle. And I think this conference and all the ITFL conferences present the best and the most passionate Hungarian English teachers, and I'm really proud to be here with them.
So Tim, what would you say was a highlight of this conference for you?
I would say the conference itself was that there were many areas. I'm an IT person, and what I came out of this conference with was a whole bag of different things to think about when I go back into the classroom. Not just the IT stuff with certain apps that are used, which was wonderful, but also with the aspects of motivation that Edmund talked about, and the discussion about reading speed of English as a second language learners, which I was pleasantly surprised to see data, because I'm a data person being in IT, so I was very happy to see that. And it's definitely something that I will take back with me, because it just will help our students. It will help me do a better job at what I do.
Anna, what would you say has been a highlight of this conference for you?
As this has been my first conference experience here, the most inspiring thing was to be here for me, and I think it is a wonderful thing to be a part of this community, and they have been very, very welcoming, and I appreciate this, and I would like to thank everyone. And also I think, for example, I have seen very inspiring talks, and especially as regards the teachers' attitudes and some very useful things that we can put to use. And for example, David Evans' talk has been one of the greatest I have ever seen, in the sense that I will always remember how he was there as a presence. And I think it's very important for us teachers as well to be there, to be open, but at the same time very much visible, and how important our posture was and voice that it carried, that we could actually talk to the students. And many times I experience this, that I kind of like do a stand-up or whatever that is needed to carry the message through. And I think it was a wonderful experience of that, of how to carry the message through and also be inspiring at the same time.
Aniko, what would you say has been a highlight of this conference for you?
For me, Margit Szesztai's first plenary was very important and fruitful, and I only take home one tiny little tip for my Monday morning class. And Margit talked about the importance of talking to learn and learning to talk. That was the title of her talk. But she also suggested that we put the students right away in a group mode And it's just a very little tip that she asks a question when the students look around and it's not the teacher's position which is in focus. And just by that, and this is the tip I take home with me, we can put the students in a different mode.
Uwe, what would you say has been a highlight of this conference for you?
It's difficult to talk about one highlight, because for me a conference is always, it's a really holistic thing. And I would just think of a word as a highlight that for me stands out, and that's talk. There's been a lot of good talk, and I myself enjoyed both of the talks that I've had in the sessions that I went to. Usually the sessions sort of just served as the springboard, and then as we got to talk, and the sessions I've been to all felt like, I'd like to stay and go on talking, because there's so much more that we could say, and we're just scratching the surface. And starting with the plenary, I thought that was a very nice framing plenary that Margit gave, because kind of step back and look at how do we talk, and maybe that's why it's also on my mind and has been ever since we started. So I enjoyed immensely the different times of talks in the session, in between sessions, meeting up with people that I know but haven't seen for a long time, so lots of great talk there. And one particular session stands out for me that I attended. I think it was Lydia from Croatia, and she had a wonderful way with language, and in fact I think I asked her whether I could quote her on this, and so I have permission. She said two things that I liked that came out of the talk that she inspired in our group, our participants in that workshop. She said, when she's teaching Roma kids English, and she said, it's very difficult, but it's challenging. And I thought that was really sweet. So she probably meant, I want that challenge. I like that kind of challenge, and I'm good at it. And I could see how good she could be without any sentimentality. So I was really impressed by the way she talked about that. And the second thing I liked, because it was sort of, it framed for me the whole idea of what people like her and the many other teachers that I keep meeting at these conferences are about. She said, talking about her school, and that it's a climate where not everybody is in favor of what they do and how they see teaching Roma kids. And she said, but the foreign language teachers, because there's her and the German teacher and the French teacher, we're a bit different. And in our school, we are the six-pack of our school. So I really like that image. So you've got to have in a school a kind of core group with a six-pack showing who are tough and good and do things, and also give each other support. And so I thought that's an image that I'm going to take away with me as the key highlight of, and a conference like that is like that too, so that you have this sense of charging up and becoming strong again before you go out and do difficult and challenging things. So yeah, that's about it.